So you cooked yourself. You thought the world was a little bit of sunshine and rainbows, and now everybody's laughing at you because you thought you were going to make money online with the business, some sort of coaching program or whatever it might be. And you realize that going viral is actually bad for you, right? You're attracting all the wrong people, right? It seems like you're still broke. It seems like you're just stressed out, honestly, and depressed. And you don't have enough time to do anything in your entire life. And your business works for you. You don't work for the business, okay? Now, how do we fix this? Ever seen that creator that has over 1 million followers but they make around $10,000 a month? It's because they went viral with the wrong viewers, and this is exactly how you're gonna fix that. Or if you haven't even started, this is going to be how you're gonna fix it, okay? And I'm not gonna be one of those people that give you a bunch of perceived value just to make them seem a little bit smarter than they are. If you don't know what perceived value is, it's just saying stuff again and again and again, overcomplicating a simple task or a simple anything, right? Just so I can tap into your brain, into your psychology, so I seem more smarter than you. We're not gonna do that today. So let's get it going, okay? So now, let's get to the root of the problem. Why people chase virality, right? I mean, ask yourself, is it gonna be like more of an ego thing or a shortcut to success? They're both wrong, okay? Being egotistical about the amount of viewers or followers you get will get you no amount of bread, right? Now, if you think it's a shortcut to success, it might be only if you're an anomaly, okay? It only works for a certain amount of people if you come up with a brand new business model or something like that that nobody ever heard before. Example, freelance brand skilling, which is exactly what SMMA was, or it was just ads. Okay, but they just did it for creators, like creator brand skilling, whatever you might want to call it. If you're one of those pioneers, yes, being viral will get you the amount of bread that you want and retire your parents, essentially, right? Now, we're in the most competitive market we've ever seen in the entire world, right? Everybody knows what they're talking about. Maybe some don't. There's a lot of scams out there. There's a lot of people saying a lot of BS, right? So how do you stand out, right? Because you're never going to stand out, right? So now you're probably going to encounter these 4 problems I'm about to talk to, right? If you want whatever niche you're at, whether it be online fitness, some sort of coaching, maybe it's Amazon FBA, e-commerce, drop shipping, whatever the thing it might be, you're hitting the wrong audience every single time because you want to go viral with the cars, the Miami penthouses, rooftops, drinking, getting fucked up, whatever it might be. You're gonna attract one of these 3, if not all 3, right? Because you gotta realize mass outreach will often get you no qualified leads. Because if you think about it, bro, I mean, a person who has money, a person who has bread saved up, they already know that a supercar is attainable, okay? They don't want to see it in their face. They just want to see how you can help them get there, okay? So the old marketing tactics of showing a bunch of money, showing that you're traveling, showing the penthouse, showing the Lambo does not work anymore because everybody knows it's real. Everybody knows it's possible. So why would I even listen to you if you're still stuck in 2020, bro? Okay? So now, number 2, if you're marketing that way, completely fine. I'm not shaming anybody. It works for some. It doesn't work for all, right? Your leads will probably lead to poor conversion and wasted energy for the closers, for the appointment setters, and for the rest of your team, right? You got to realize this is a business, right? It's not going to be a get rich quick scheme. You got to build it like a business. You're going to have people who are hitting you every single day because there's people who genuinely drop their entire lives to work for you. You're going to have appointment setters, DM setters, closers, back-end people running your whole operations to feed, right? If you get egotistical about your audience, if you even think about posting something that it does not help your brand, you're screwing many people over without noticing, okay? Now, another thing, if you want to post the supercars, cool. This is another thing that's going to happen, right? It's going to be people who are not aligned with what your targeting audience is or what you want to sell, right? If you're selling ads, right, or creator scaling or whatever it might be, and you're only posting about entrepreneurship, God, Miami, nobody knows what you're about, one, and nobody will care or know what you're about. I just repeated myself. I'm cooked, okay? Now, you want people to know you for you and what you do and how you can help them. Okay. So, which leads to problem number 2. Once people figure that out about the marketing, how to market themselves, they run into another thing, operations breakdown, meaning that you guys ever seen Black Friday, right? Think about Black Friday, for example, right? There's not enough lanes. There's not enough product. There's not enough space, and everything is crowded, right? As soon as people figure out and they fix their marketing problem, they're oftentimes going to end up with a Black Friday situation, meaning an influx overwhelms the system, right? It's overwhelming. You can't onboard 100 people. Once you can onboard 100 people, then you can crank up the marketing, right? But you're going to see a lot of this. And that often is going to lead to a lot of returns, negative reviews, and burnout. This is how people burn out, by solving problems after they happen instead of before. Does that make sense? Now, this is called exposure without infrastructure, and it's going to equal to your collapse, right? You can't grow at such a rapid pace without figuring out your infrastructure. And I'm going to show you in the next slides how to fix that. So now, biggest problem is problem number 3, thinking short term, right? Which is going to kill your long-term audience, trust, and authority. Okay, think about it like this. You guys ever seen Andy Elliott? If you guys haven't, he's just some door-to-door guy. He's built his reputation about sales, car sales, door-to-door sales. That's about it. Different from Daniel G. Okay, you can't completely switch. If Andy Elliott switched from posting this type of style to posting Brez type of style of marketing, he would lose all credibility, trustability, and all the abilities, okay? Because think about it. Why would somebody hire Andy Elliott if he went from being such a polished guy to posting, not to offend them, to posting like a 19, 20-year-old kid, which works for him, it won't work for Andy Elliott. So as soon as you pick your audience, don't switch it and just stick to it if you already have a following, right? And if you think about it, what if you grow your audience in crypto and I don't know where you want to start something about sales? It's not gonna work, and it's never gonna work. You're chasing quick dopamine instead of long-term success, right? Build your audience based on long-term success rather than anything else. Okay, now let's look at Jordan, for example. Jordan and Mr. Beast, right? Really, 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 really good YouTube channels, right? It's consistent. Some people are not consistent when it comes to their lives, right? What did Shay say? I mean, be consistent in every aspect of your entire life. It's completely true, okay? So let's look at his YouTube, for example. So YouTube, it's really just his, I guess like you would call it a resting bitch face, but it's just his face. I have that face too, don't worry. It's just pretty consistent, right? And look at the colors. A lot of black, a lot of white. His phone is showing, right? There's some red, there's some, okay, yeah, it's really just neutral colors. He doesn't really want to stand out. That's his main goal, right? And he either wills no tea, white or black. That's what he does. He doesn't stand out of the box, and it seems to work for him, and he gets the views, right? His YouTube is probably his most qualified thing. That's where he gets mostly all his people who buy. Okay, YouTube and long form is gonna be and will forever be king. Okay, now let's look at Mr. Beast. It's really colorful. He loves his blue shirts and his blacks, right? He's always has somebody else, right? So his face is his first point of attraction, and it's something else second. Every single time, right? And it's always some sort of editing. This is what you call brand depth. Some people don't even have that. They don't even have the consistency, right? Once you develop the consistency within your life and within posting, you can figure out the brand depth. What colors do you want to use? What background colors? What type of titles? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to attract? What type of niche you want to be? This is stuff you should be writing down eventually, right? And this is problem number 3. Now, problem number 4, right? These are the top 3 guys that I could think of off the top of my head, right? And these guys don't have something called damage positioning, right? Damage positioning basically means you don't want to damage your personal brand, your personal aura, as you guys would like to call it, or anything that has to do with your entire life, right? These guys, think about it. I've never seen a single bit of content apart from Alex Ramosi and I guess Daniel G, since I just got into sales. I've been in sales for a while actually, but they're not known for a viral clip. They're not really known for anything crazy like crashing a car or like jumping off of balcony. They're not known for that. They're known for their core offer. Okay, this guy 10x client acquisition. What's it called? Selling the dream life. How to become a virtual sales guy, right? We all know them for what they do, not for a specific thing, right? You don't know Alex Ramsey for his 6 packs. You don't know him for his brilliant white teeth, and you don't know him for his big smile. Okay, you don't know him for that. You know them for what they sell, what they provide, right? They do events, they do marketing, they do everything, right? They don't care about going mainstream. Even though they go mainstream every single time, they never cared about it. They just stayed consistent to their singular niche, and they got known as that guy for real estate, that guy for client acquisition or for gyms, right? And that guy for sales. Be known for that guy, okay? Nothing else, right? This builds buyers, not followers, right? People are building followers. They're not building buyers because they rather entertain an audience and without monetizing at all, right? Which is something negative you're always doing. Now, this is exactly what you're going to focus on, right? So focus on actually getting quality over quantity. Don't worry. Put the ego aside. Listen, listen, listen. 10,000 views doesn't mean anything if you make $0 from it. Okay. Worry about the qualified. Speak to your ICP, your ideal customer. Okay. If my ideal customer is somebody who goes door to door, I'm calling that guy out every aspect of his entire life. I'm going to call him out. If your ICP is some fat guy because you're selling some sort of a coaching or mentorship program on how to lose weight and get shredded, listen, you're a fat piece of bacon or whatever you want to call him, right? Attract that audience and only that audience. Don't attract the female glaze. Don't attract anybody who won't buy off you. Okay. Now, once you attract those people and you're in a nice foundation of a marketing perspective, now you're going to build a solid backend system before actually pumping into ads or pumping in more inputs. Okay. Figure out if you can even get 5 people at a time results. 10 people, 20 people, right? Do it as cheap as possible. That way you can prove to yourself that you can get a testimonial and prove to yourself that you can actually do what it is you say you do, right? That's going to build you long-term trust. And it's going to be such a consistent message because imagine having 5 to 10 testimonials. How easier would a sale be on your next sales call, right? So now how do we do this? You start posting less, but more. Let me explain, right? Start by posting 3 very niche videos. Forget about being popular. Forget about being everything else. Just 3 niche videos. Okay. Promise you, they won't get views. They might not even get clicks, but they're going to be consistent, right? Be consistent to them because the value needs to be unmatched and you need to rack up these testimonials. This is the only way you're going to do this. Does that make The only way you're going to do this is this, okay? Because you'll rather be known as the guy who gets consistent results rather than the guy who just blows up and they get money and nobody really knows about him, okay? Now, take the time to build the back end, right? Figure out how to make more money in the back end because a successful business makes more money off their back end agency, their back end business, their back end management, whatever it might be. I can think about 100 different businesses where they should make more money in the back end rather than the quick cash in the front end. And that's where people go wrong. Okay. They're called verticals. Figure out how to make a vertical, whether it be business funding, selling something different, upsells, your back end business. The LTV of a customer should be 2 to 3 times more than the front end. The front end is just a tripwire, but people's front ends is literally their whole entire goal. If they're not constantly selling, they're not constantly making money, right? The back end should make you more money. And once again, focus on the testimonials and the money will follow. Right? If you guys have any questions about this whole stuff or this whole, I'm going to be very blunt, right? I've scaled multiple people to 100 to 120K months. I currently took on a creator with 10K followers and just made him around 60K literally in 15 days. We're on pace to do 100K. Now, how do we do 10X from the amount of followers? Listen, I'm going to be describing exactly what I'm doing, how I'm selling, how I'm pitching, every single part of the system without lying to you, without saying something different or giving you perceived value as it is. Go in the comment section, type whatever you want to learn. I'm going to make a video on it. I'm going to be consistent on it because I've realized that this information is not out there as blunt as it should be. Okay.